Welcome to the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont. Happy to be with you once again this week. Three of our high school teams had games this week. One had a bye. The coaches are all here. Let's get started and talk about the gridiron and, gosh, you know, high school football. And one of the best games of the week certainly was on the road for the Wildcats of New Hanover, winning 41-38. The Wildcats outlast their opponent. Earl Smith, head coach of the Wildcats. Coach, wow, what a game.
It was something. You know, we were behind the whole game and didn't go ahead until we kicked the 26-yard field goal with like 4 minutes to go in the game.
And you mentioned the field goal throughout this contest. Special teams were such a big factor in the victory, certainly for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. Our kicker, Wesley Gaines, was doing a great job on the kickoffs. He had 2 field goals. He was 3 for 3 on his extra points. And our punt team, everybody shined, and that was huge at the very end.
Coach, we have a lot of highlights to show with such offense going on in the contest. 41-38 win, taking the Wildcats to 4-0 on the season in non-conference action. Let's get right to it.
Yeah, here Troy McCaskill makes a huge tackle for loss. He had a big night. They much improved football team. They're 1-3, but I tell you, we're one of the best 1-3 teams in the state. Here Blake connects with Wiz Vaughn on a slant route. You know, Wiz just makes things happen after he gets it. Wiz had a big night too. He was all over the field running the ball and catching just like he normally does. I think here's another. Yeah, Blake steps up and here's another great catch, kind of behind the shoulder there. Wiz gets us down. Again, Blake was spreading it around. Break up here, he connects here with an unbelievable catch there on the sideline by Cole Tanner. He comes down and keeps his feet in bounds, and he's really improved over the last couple of weeks. Here, Megan Canny, our junior running back, scores to give us our first touchdown.
Came at a key time because you were down early.
Yes, we were down 14-0. We kept fighting back. Defense keeps flying around. We did give up 4 touchdown passes. That's something we've got a good secondary. We just made some mistakes back there, and we weren't able to get a lot of pressure on their quarterback, so that really hurt us. I'm kind of breaking up here. Another good stop there by Chris Taylor. Excuse me, by Troy again for our defense. We did a really good job on our kickoff return. We can see this. Wiz catches this one and almost breaks it. And I don't know if we'll get to it at the very end, but Freddie Taylor had an 83-yard kickoff return that cut it to 2, and then we went for 2 to tie it up, which got us back in the ball game.
Again, key special teams work on those kickoff returns.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time during the week working on it, and it's paid off. Our kickoffs has been some problems, but we seem to iron those out this week. We'll have to work on this next week. Blake here connects again with Wiz on one of the drives that we kept, they would go up 2, we would cut it to 1 touchdown. It kind of went back and forth like that the whole game.
And Blake really kept his composure. He threw a couple early interceptions, but he was able to really settle down.
Absolutely. He's a veteran, and he was just trying to make some things happen. He's a little frustrated, trying to force the ball in there, and he did that. And he was getting a lot of pressure on him. They were, like, for the last 3 weeks, everybody seems to be blitzing us, and we were able to pick it up most of the time. Good job here, gang tackling. Here's the punt, and Logan Santos gets down the field, fumbles the ball, recovers it. That was huge right there, because we were able to score here and cut it to 2. Excuse me, this is right before the half, I'm sorry. Yeah, here's the 41-yard field goal, right with 3 seconds to go in the half, and then Wesley does this, cuts the lead to 2. And that's huge to have that weapon in high school.
Right, and taking you right into the halftime
Give us a little momentum.
bit of momentum.
Absolutely.
Wildcats came out and still had a battle on your hands in the second half.
We did. Our running game stepped up a little bit second half. We made a few adjustments at halftime, and Megan Canty and Jabez Howard, our running backs here, Wiz scores on this one on a run.
And you mentioned Wiz having a big night, 116 yards rushing, 2 TDs, and it was, again, a key receiver for you as well.
Oh, yeah. And here's our sophomore running back, Jabez Howard, rips off, I think it was about 79 yards. And that was a key momentum swing there, too. I'll say this for Garner, they're a storied tradition team, and I knew they would be ready to play when we got up there, and they were. And I'm just proud of our guys for the perseverance in the fourth quarter, how they came back and kept fighting.
Well, you finished the non-conference action with this big win on the road at Garner, 41-38. You finished 4-0 with the non-conference. As you look back on these first 4 weeks, and again, this was a tough battle for you. Your kids got behind early, didn't give up. Came back and stayed right with them and pulled out the victory on the road. So that's got to be a big win for the kids going into a bye week.
Absolutely. I scheduled these 4 games, and looking at it from at the beginning, a lot of people was skeptical about whether we might where we'd end up, how many wins we would get out of it. But we improved each week, and we're very healthy, so we're good to go. Got a week off and come back against South Brunswick in 2 weeks.
All right, Coach, congratulations on another win for the Wildcats. Good luck during the week with your bye week. Be working on a lot of different things, getting ready for conference play when you come back to action.
Absolutely.
Again, the head coach of the New Hanover Wildcats, Earl Smith, with us. We'll be back with more of the Sports Roundtable right after this. And welcome back once again to the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host. We continue our discussion on high school football, and joining us now is the head coach of the Hoggard Vikings, Craig Underwood. Coach,
how are you doing?
Your team, again, doesn't get to play on Friday night. This time, instead of playing later, having to go into the next week, you had to play early with the expectation that Irma might come our way. Fortunately, the hurricane didn't come this way in a big way. We're going to get some rain and so forth with it. But, of course, you go on the road down to South Carolina, down to Conway, and the Vikings defense played so well, 21-0. Your overall thoughts?
I'll tell you, just really, really pleased with the defense, pleased with the team effort in handling. Again, the game got bumped up a day. They thought Carolina Forest was going to become a shelter over the weekend, so we had to bump it up a day. Kids responded really well to having to go on the road a day early, and we actually had to move our JV game there too. So it was a lot of just adjustments that had to be made, and I thought our team showed a lot of maturity to go to South Carolina and get a win against a pretty good Carolina Forest team.
Well, let's look at the highlights. Of course, a 21-0 win. Your defense plays so well, but again, offensively, you put some points on the board.
We did. We moved the ball well throughout the night. They're really sound defensively, and with our defense playing as well as it was a good start to it. Right here, they're running option. That's Isaiah Kemp coming up with a big hit on the option pitch. That's a big part of their game, so we had to really focus on taking that away. The perimeter plays. There's Christian Holler coming through, tackle for loss from the Mike linebacker position. So a couple returning starters stepping up big on the road for us. Trying to continue mixing it up. This is Cade Edwards, who was new into the lineup this week, playing at safety. We gave him the job of running the alley, and he really did a good job throughout the night. This is Lloyd Giroux. We were kind of pinned just because they did a little quick kick that popped it over our heads and rolled it down there, and our offense did a good job of pushing it out, flipping the field. That's Evan Manning and Michael Bannerman leading Lloyd there, and then Josh Jones running the bootleg off of it at the other end when the quarter changed. So getting us in for a score. Really pleased with our offensive production on the ground, just continuing to pound it with Lloyd Giroux running behind the right side of the offensive line there. That's Mason McKeithen and Donovan Simmons. Wyatt Workman at center. Those guys just continue to put in the work week after week. Good execution here of making something out of nothing. It's Josh Jones to C.J. Pipkin. That was a third down conversion that really helped sustain some momentum for us. So great grab by C.J. and adjusting his route there. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first drive of the third quarter. Yep, right here. This is Isaiah again coming up, just a big hit, forced a fumble. Reese Moulton scooping it. I think he got in here. They said he was down at the 1, but wanted to get Reese a touchdown there. But again, great job. Just, that first drive of the third quarter is really important, establishing momentum. Here's Isaiah and Mackenzie Frazier, big hit on their quarterback.
Yeah, establishing that defense again here in the second half.
I'll tell you, their quarterback was a great runner. Here's that quick kick. We come through and block one later on. So the quarterback doubled as the punter. It's always a little tricky. He tried to double punt on us there, which isn't legal, but here's Isaiah was able to recover it, and we push it down. Great field position. So defense set up a 1-yard touchdown, and then here's Josh Jones to C.J. Pipkin again, setting up another score. So offense taking that momentum and getting points for us. So we'll see him right there, pushing it down inside the red zone. So great job. You can see it was quite the muddy game. The field was in tough conditions. That was another part that made it difficult. There's Josh Jones to Chris Tootle. Tootle's really coming along, first-year wideout, but great size, great frame. Has done a good job adjusting to that position. There's Mackenzie Frazier coming through again. Big game at nose guard, playing off blocks and making tackles. So really pleased with his production. He's a force in the middle. This is Ryan Benjamin. Ryan Benjamin, Scott Looney, a couple guys getting in, giving us some depth on the defensive side of the ball and continuing, like I said, to push and keep a 0 on the board against an offense that was averaging a lot of points and over 300 yards on the ground. So.
Looks like you really controlled the line of scrimmage, certainly, and then when they tried to go wide, you stretched it out, had great pursuit, got some big turnovers, and so defense, again, really the star for you. But offensively, again, on the road, always tough. To play on the road, but you got your offense going, and they took advantage of the mistakes that your opponent gave to you.
Well, that's it. And when when our defense, we felt like we were executing pretty well. It was a smart offensive game plan in terms of we're not going to take with so many risks in terms of risking a turnover or something like that on a muddy field. So 21-0, we were really pleased with that.
You talked about Giroux having a great night in terms of rushing. I think over 100 yards, 111 yards. Quarterback Josh Jones, again, a rushing and passing TD. A solid job by your quarterback, your leader. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's doing a great job of leading our team week to week. And I'll tell you, that offensive line really coming along. So, and then one unsung hero that just doesn't get mentioned much is Evan Manning, our H-back. He's coming through and really opening those holes for Lloyd and helping protect Josh on several of those pass routes too. So a lot of guys pitching in. You continue non-conference action, this time at home against Purnell Sweat. So what does this team bring into? Well, I'll tell you, they're big up front and they've got a lot of speed on the perimeter. So they're another challenge. They're 3-0 on the season, as are we, and so we look forward to playing back at home finally on Friday night and hoping Irma doesn't present too many complications. Very good. Again, Coach, congratulations on another big non-conference win for the Vikings. Good luck this week against Purnell Sweat. Thank you so much. All right. Once again, this is the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, and we'll be back in just a moment. Watching the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host. We continue our discussion about high school football this past week, and another victory, a big victory for the Laney Buccaneers came through. Coach is here, Ashad Yeoman. Bucks 26, Triton 14. A much-needed win for your Bucks.
Definitely. They came in undefeated, and we knew they were going to be tough. And one of the things that we talked about last week, before I got off the show, was I wanted to see a lot more fight. And we were down 14-7, and that's exactly what we got in that second half. And the guys came together, and it worked out for us in the end. So I'm very proud of the effort that we had. This was a game of momentum. First half was Triton's half. Second half, you got the momentum right back and took it to them. We're going to get right to the footage so we can see some of the action. But again, the momentum really switched for you in the second half. It really did, yes, sir. So in the first half, they were driving the ball on us pretty well. That's a huge play by Tyron Jones. It was a huge pickup from this junior coming in this season. And then there's another junior there, Devon Shepard. He's come up big for us as a young man from the JV level. Jason Billingsley did a great job of getting that ball down in there. We handed it to him to finish off that drive. So We were down 7-7. Well, it was tied 7-7 at that particular point, and then they drove down again and made it 14-7. And that was what we went in at halftime. And then in the second half, as you can see, they ran some counters and stuff like that, and we ended up coming up with some big plays. Thomas Brasher reading the guards and doing a great job of staying home. And then there's Jaquez Easley, another junior for us, coming up big. Bring in Sherrod. He connects with Billingsley on the out. Great job on the sprint course. Here he is reading on the option. He sees the cutback. Again, we'd gotten the ball back after Easley, and then here's the first drive down, and Sherrod takes us down in the goal line. And there's our junior there, Daquan Pridgeon, out of Noble Middle School. Great addition. Love him to death. He works hard and proud to see the efforts that he has. And then at the bottom of the screen, there's Kenwan Watkins, a huge player for us. He was a starter as a freshman, and then coming up with a big play there. And then there's Daquan Bloodworth coming up with the fumble. The kid lost it. I think Saquad Yeoman ended up coming in with the strip, and then he picked it out of the air and made a huge play. And then that was Tim Mills, a two-way player for us, coming up with a big stop. And then there's Sherrod Sidbury connecting with another junior. Looks like Matthew Sims with a great play, great finish. And then Sherrod doesn't see what he likes, fumbled the snap a little bit, and then again, making some plays with his legs, just seeing an open hole and attacking it. That's a great job by him. We tried to, block the edge, and sometimes kids make us look right, you know what I mean? And that was a great play by Billingsley of catching that pitch and, sticking that foot in the ground and coming up with a big play.
Yeah, he had a great night.
He did, yes, sir. So proud of the efforts that he had on that onside kick. Cody Neal, junior player for us, coming up from the JVs, doing what it takes on the special teams, getting that turnover for us. Then again, there's Tyron Jones coming up with a big play. We had to make some adjustments on the field. Still not where we want to be at, offensively or defensively or special teams, but we're work in progress, and I'm proud of the effort that the guys are having. You think about it, last season, a lot of these guys were special teams players for us, and now, they're taking on the show, and that's a great play there by our quarterback, Jacob Jones, a junior quarterback filling in for Sherrod Sidbury. And then, good job by the defense coming up with some huge stops. Again, they had things going in the first half for themselves, and we made some adjustments, and that's a testament to the kids that listening, following instruction. And then again, there's our junior quarterback, Jacob Jones, coming up with a huge first down for us, keeping the chains moving.
Called out a lot of different names. Got a lot of good effort from a lot of people on both sides of the scrimmage unit. You had great defensive plays,
Yes,
you had good offensive plays, but the leadership really came through for you in this game.
It really did. What I'm proud of is to see that the kids, they held a players-only meeting and talked about some of the things that were discouraging to them and some of the things that we needed to do to move forward. And they came together at the end of that meeting, and it showed Friday night. We were down, backs against the wall, and they came out fighting. And that's just half the battle. So I'm proud of the effort that they had.
Right, and of course, with a disappointing loss to Jacksonville the week before, to step up and come back and have a solid performance on both sides of, offensively and defensively, had to be promising and really a good sign for the Bucs moving forward.
No doubt, no doubt. Now we just got to keep that momentum rolling and keep it going.
Of course, you have a bye week
Yes,
this
sir.
week, so you'll have an opportunity this week to kind of look at things. You said you still have a lot of work to do. What will you focus on?
Everything, offensively, just everything offensively, everything defensively, from the scheme to tackling to technique, etc., and then even our special teams. We got a lot of work to do there. So we came up with some huge plays. Coach Andrew Russ does a great job with our special teams, and I'm proud of the effort that he has there. And we just got to keep this thing going and work on the little things.
Right. Now, as you look at this week, of course, there'll be some weather issues, certainly with the rain on Tuesday. May lose a little bit of time there. Your focus, again, is you got a lot to look at, you said. Do you need the rest? Do you have any injuries, any issues going on with the team physically?
Well, fortunately, knock on wood, we don't have too many injuries from the guys. It's just a matter of us focusing on us, so that's the good thing. There are some bumps and bruises here and there that some guys can get rested up, but for the most part, I'm very happy with where we are as a team.
And coming off a big win, the kids are anxious to play. How do you approach that with looking at just a week that you're just kind of hitting each other, but not going to have a chance to go out on the field on Friday night?
Well, that's the good thing is we get a chance to compete again. I love competition, especially in practice because it helps translate into the game. So we're looking at some competition things that we can do throughout the week so that we keep these guys fresh, keep them motivated, keep them going, and get that aspect out of them.
Very good, Coach. Have a good week this week. You'll be back in conference play on September 22nd against North Brunswick. Again, great game this past week. Congratulations. Look forward to talking with you in a couple weeks after your game with North Brunswick. All right, we have more on the Sports Roundtable coming up next. Welcome back to the Sports Roundtable. I'm Tom Lamont, your host, and joining me now is the head coach of the Ashley Eagles, Jeff Turner. And Jeff, you've had a bye week this week, a chance to sit back and see what your team is doing right at this moment, how they've done in their first games, and you had a chance to really kind of regather. And what did your week look like this week with the Eagles?
Well, I thought the guys responded real well. I thought we gave some kids some rest that needed it, and coaches. But I think I think they understand what's at hand. Sometimes when you get some momentum going, don't like the down week. You like to keep pushing. But we need to handle it right, and hopefully we'll have a great week of practice. We have a real challenge coming up Friday night that we look forward to up at East Duplin. But I thought the off week was good. We got the rest needed. I think the kids came in refreshed. Looking at them today, I think they're ready to get back to work and excited about it.
Well, of course, you're coming off a win. You're 2-1 in the non-conference play, and the Eagles got some confidence, obviously, in their last contest. Let's talk offense first. What do you think your team needs to do right now in terms of getting ready, not only for East Duplin, but as you move forward, getting into conference play soon?
Well, I think what we need to do is obviously build off of our success, what we've done right, and I think we have platforms where we've gotten good offensively. We've had some where we're real bad, but right now we want to build off the good stuff and the positive things that we've done and get better from those. So we want to take the positive things and the things we've done right, and we want to make that better and keep getting better from it. We must keep improving, or else we won't have a shot. So we really need to stay at the positive level and then keep getting better. And offensively, we were flat against Purnell Sweat. I thought we had a chance just going in the third quarter and had a couple bad plays. And then they responded against Fairmont. So offensively, I think they feel good. They're playing with more confidence, and they're playing and executing better. So if we can build off that, then that's really what we have to go and just keep getting better. Now we got to take it to the next level from where we were last week.
Talk about some of your leaders, especially on offense. They're going to be key for you moving forward. Obviously, the quarterback position extremely important. Your offensive line's got to protect them, and got to do the work up front on the line of scrimmage to get your running game going as well. Who is going to be critical for you as you move forward? And of course, your next opponent, very tough, East Duplin,
right.
And that's going to be a battle for you on the road. And offensively, you're going to have to execute.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, leadership's always been a question, and that's something we have not had. It was really interesting. We went to a camp this summer up in Wallace, and one of my old teammates was there, Ernest Biner. I don't know if you remember. He's an old running back from East Carolina, played with the Browns, has a Super Bowl ring, and I saw Ernest there, and we got talking, and he was doing his talk up there, and first thing he asked is, do you have any leaders? And at that point I said, no, not right now, and we're working on it. What I've seen in the beginning, which is pretty neat, I see some guys trying to step forward. I've seen them trying to lead. We've challenged them. I've challenged them in that role. So, we have Grant Grenion stepped up on the defensive line, I think. Freddie Thames on the offense is sort of that leader, those two guys there. And then you have other guys that, Troy Givens and some other guys, Elijah Solomon, that are trying real hard. I think, guys, it's a pretty neat thing, and we've really, made great strides in where we need to get to from where we came from. And I don't think everybody realizes the strides that are making. It's really neat because it's a part of one of the great things about teaching and coaching these kids, and we see it firsthand how far they've come. Not that we can't take a big step back and be humbled again, which could possibly happen in this great game, but yeah, leadership is paramount. We're working on it. I think the guys have stepped up and are trying, and hopefully we'll continue to have great leadership in that respect.
You know, this past week we saw some very important play by special teams for the game. Of course, for Laney, some big special plays. Obviously for New Hanover in their win against Garner, special plays, special teams were extremely important, key plays. Looking at your team, special teams, where do you think they are right now?
Yeah, that's something that I agree. That's such a huge aspect of the game, and we're working on that and continuing to build off. And I think special teams has been pretty good. Our kicker has done a great job. We need to get a little better protection in there because we had a blocked field goal last game, which was very disappointing. One of our players lost discipline, so we need to do a better job in teaching that. But overall, I would like to see us get better at every part of the special team. We did come in against Fairmont, and it was a 4th down play, and we came in and ran a fake off of our special teams that actually scored a touchdown, gave us a touchdown off it. So that was good to have in there. So that was a big positive. But absolutely, we need to get a little more complex with our special teams and grow from that. Don't be so basic, and then get better at that, better fundamentally sound also. So.
Your next challenge, of course, this week, East Duplin on the road. To you as the coach, what's the biggest challenge they bring to you?
Well, I think, you know, the biggest challenge is to go up there and be ready to play, be ready to compete, be ready to you know, be a strong football player. And you know, East Duplin, I know Battle up there, and we've talked, and he's got a special team right now in top 5 or 6 in the state. But we look forward to it. That's football. We're supposed to play anyone in the state. I want to see how our kids are going to battle, because I want to see, you know, we need to be tough about it, and you never know what could happen. Let's see what happens, and we just need to get off the bus and be ready to play and execute and keep our discipline going. I think we'll see what happens after that.
Very good. Coach, good luck this week.
Appreciate
and
it.
Moving forward after this week, of course, you'll be getting into conference play. But
Yeah.
again, the head coach of the Ashley Eagles, Jeff Turner, joining us here on the Sports Roundtable. We remind you as fans out there, we know that you're watching this show, you're a high school football fan, but when you go out and support these teams, you're supporting not only those football players, you're supporting the school, you're supporting the band, the flag team, the cheerleaders. It's all a part about high school. And so again, thank you for supporting high school football in New Hanover County. Go out this Friday night, and the Friday nights coming up for high school football in New Hanover County, whether you're going to Hoggart, whether you're going to Ashley, whether you're going to Laney, or going to New Hanover, support those teams. Again, this is Todd Lamont. This has been the Sports Roundtable. We'll see you soon.